Hello, and welcome to the Sportscast podcast. This week, myself and Jordan are going to have a look back at Liverpool's triumphant EFL win, a little look at Arsenal and how they'll fare for the rest of the season, the Six Nations roundup, and a look at the F1 testing, what it really means ahead of the Bahrain Grand Prix next week. Jordan, hello.
Hello, how are you?
Very well, yourself?
Yeah, I'm very good, thank you.
Good. Tonight we are without James, unfortunately, due to he has a job.
Oh, on a Sunday night?
A Sunday night. But then he works nights and he gets the following week off. So sometimes nights aren't all that bad.
That's not too bad.
No. So, but I mean, the only thing for him would be that Arsenal picked up a result this weekend. That's the only thing he'd be happy about.
Yeah, 4-1 against Newcastle. After a pretty, I don't know if you watched the game. I actually watched the game midweek. Pretty shocking performance midweek in the Champions League.
I didn't watch that game, but everything I've read about it says that they didn't fancy turning up.
To be fair, I felt that Porto. I mean, Arsenal don't have very good form in Portugal anyway, but Porto was they were sporadic. They were like watching wrestling. Every time Arsenal got the ball, they kind of like kicked, dragged, punched. Yeah, just anything. And as soon as they were in Arsenal, the only way Arsenal were scoring in that game was on the break. And every time they tried to get a break, just because Porto pushed up so high, every time they tried to get a break, they just dragged them down. It was just pinball football. And then 93rd minute, Porto, to be fair, cracking 20-yard kind of finessed right foot, side of the foot, over the keeper, poor positioning of the keeper, but no, up and down for Arsenal, I suppose. If James is listening to this back,
they just need to. I think they're back in the Champions League after a number of years away. They just need to not bother about it and focus on potentially winning the league, because they are up there and they are challenging. Yeah,
100%. I mean, Liverpool 60 points, Man City 59 points, Arsenal 58 points. So the top three separated by just 2 points.
2 points, and Arsenal are the most informed team. So
yeah, absolutely. They've got the lowest goals against as well. Great defensive. Defensive. So it's actually on goal difference. I'm just looking now. Goal difference, Arsenal do have the best goal difference, so potentially a fiery back end of the season between those three.
Yeah, we shall see. Pardon?
Do you know if they play each other the back end of the season? I don't know.
I think they will be doing.
Yeah.
It'll be a spicy one. I know They played early February. Yeah, they played Liverpool. Yeah, they played at Liverpool early February. So I think they've done Liverpool twice now.
Yeah,
but then they've still got. I mean, they've got Spurs and they've got Man United.
I was going to say
Everton though in the last game of the season. If Everton are down there, that's not an easy 3 points.
No, definitely not. And I don't know where Everton's sitting 17th, 18th, 17th.
The 17th. Yeah, and they've appealed the points. They should hopefully have an outcome of that pretty soon. So who knows?
So I had the notifications set up on my phone just because I wasn't able to watch it, but I did want to keep up to date. And literally nothing appeared on the screen for a good 90 full minutes, and I'm thinking, why aren't the notifications working? And I log in and I realise that nothing at all has happened in the game.
The thing is, apart from one disallowed goal, which I mean, this is where VAR really, you're talking millimetres.
Yeah.
If a millimetre was offside for Chelsea, apart from that, nothing did.
And was it offside? Because I know we've talked in the past about like do millimeters matter and things like that, and we'll probably move on to talk about Formula One at some point. But in that sport, a millimeter does make a difference because it's a precision sport. But is football that same level of precision, or should it be that same level of precision?
The direction which players were moving, the millimeter wouldn't have made a difference.
Yeah.
You know, defenders stepping up and attackers moving forward. They both wasn't going the same way, and he's got, you know, the smallest fractions of a head start. It wasn't like that. It was just that one was going one was going the other. So it looked more in real time. It looked more dubious. But the problem is the talks of moving the line. You know, you get a 10 centimetre grace. You're not taking away jeopardy. You're just moving the line of jeopardy. So it doesn't sit very well with me. I don't think anything will happen with that.
But no, another trophy for Jurgen Klopp.
His final season
confirmed is the final season, potentially winning the not the Champions League, the Premier League as well. Question mark? Maybe yes, no.
I hope not.
I know you hope not.
I hope not. I hope. I prefer Mikel Arteta. So I hope that you know, Arsenal can do something. It's been close to 17, 18 years, if not nearly 20 years since they've won it. So it would be nice to see that. So who knows? Big weekend in the rugby this weekend as well.
Yeah, Six Nations back.
Yeah, not really a close game to start with, but Ireland beating Wales 31-7. Scoreline, two late tries make it look a little bit more, you know.
Well, that's what I was going to say. That's what I was saying to you yesterday, or that's what I was going to say to you yesterday, is that the Ireland have absolutely dominated some teams that when we've watched rugby before, when we've talked about rugby before, and actually, yes, they scored the late tries, but it wasn't a kind of whitewashing of Wales.
No,
Wales held up their end.
Yeah, first half it was very one way, but very tight. But in terms of the second half, we took it to them. We just wasn't clinical, and that has been Wales's problem now for a number of years. We're not clinical. I think if we'd have taken some of our chances, it would have been a closer scoreline. The referee, Ireland haven't been reffed very well for a very, very, very long time. What other teams get penalised for, Ireland will do over and over again and never get penalised for. It would have made no difference to the result. We would have still got beat, but I don't know what it is. Ireland for the last 10, 12 years, they just haven't been refereed properly. They take things, they take the letter of the law to the absolute wire.
Yeah.
So, you know, they really push the boundaries right to the edge, and they're so good at it that they get away with it.
Yeah, kind of like Argentina in the World Cup. Like, they are blatant cheats, but actually they got away with as much as they possibly could do in the final.
Yes.
And just sort of aggravated France just enough to kind of win.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So another fantastic result for Scotland against England. 4 years in a row. Duhan van der Merwe is just, for me, the best winger in the world at the minute. There's absolutely no way someone that size should be able to move that quick and powerfully. It's just incredible. It's just absolutely incredible. I mean, Duhan van der Merwe, I'm not convinced he's of Scottish descent. It's a shame he's not.
I don't know, it sounds Viking-ish. Sounds like his ancestors were Vikings.
More South African.
All right.
Van der Merwe. So he was born in South Africa, but he came over and he was playing with started playing with Edinburgh in 2017. So he has qualified through like length of time.
Yeah.
So it's So, but then again, as the commentator duly pointed out, when England were fighting back, the young winger for England, I can't pronounce his name. I'll be completely honest. It's going to do him head in. Well, I'm not going to get it. He's Welsh, and he picked England over playing for Wales in this year's. So like that was it.
Yeah.
Faye Wabasso. And he scored a try. He's 21-year-old on his debut, scored a try, and the commentator said the Welshman scores for England. But so he scored 50% of Wales's tries this weekend. Well, actually, no, he scored 100% because we got a penalty try, so no one actually scored it. So
fair enough.
At least the Welshman scored a try this weekend. But the big result is Italy today with France. Have you seen the result?
No.
Right. So France were ahead early in the second half, got a yellow card, a red card. Sorry. Italy fought back, and the game was 13-13 as the clock hit 80 minutes. Italy get a penalty in front of the post, just to the left of the post, and he puts the ball on the tee. He is sort of setting himself, and the ball falls off the tee. But this is all while the shot clock is counting down. And then suddenly he gets the ball back on the tee. He's only got 6 seconds left. So he just kicks it, and he hits the upright and misses.
Oh, wow.
So that would have been obviously an unbelievable win for Italy. First time they'd have ever won in the Six Nations in France. I mean...
It's unfortunate. It is definitely unfortunate, but I always kind of argue that you do get 60 seconds on the shot clock, don't you not?
Yes, but
so kick it. Just kick it in 60 seconds. Why wait 54?
Yeah, well, the ball had fell off and he had to go set himself. But the argument was that should the shot clock have reset?
In my opinion, yes. As soon as you said kind of the thing fell off, as long as he's made no forward motion, there's been no other players around it. Like, how does it fall off the tee?
In what is essence an indoor stadium?
Yeah,
it's very unlucky. But yeah, it puts it nicely at the bottom now with Wales and Italy at the bottom, both on 3 points.
Yeah,
you've got obviously France, who are fourth, with England third, which is a little bit surprising. Scotland second, Ireland 6 points ahead with 2 games to play. So you get four for a win, and then you get sort of bonus points if you lose within so many points or you score 4 tries. So they are well clear. They can lose a game and still win.
What's the format from here? So we play 2 more games as we have done, and then what we do? First,
that's it.
Second?
No, just that's it.
Okay, so it's a league.
So yeah, it is an outright league. And Ireland, Scotland are still to play each other, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So
that's really interesting though. So what happens if, for example, 2 teams are on even points, or it's tight going into the final round of games? Kind of, where would they send the trophy, for example?
They've always got replicas like the Premier League and things. I guess they'll do it like that. But yeah, they
has that ever happened, or is it always as cut as dry as this?
It has, but the last time I remember, going back some years, but it was Wales Ireland were in the mix, but they played each other.
Oh, okay, fair play. That must have been for a pretty feisty game.
Yeah, and I think a few years ago, I remember there being the joke that they were hovering around with it in a helicopter. I think so. Yeah, I can't remember what happened, but yeah, it's that sort of thing can happen.
Yeah,
but Formula One testing this week.
Yeah, to be honest, I've not watched any of it because testing is boring. It's just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of laps, and to be honest, the cars aren't doing full pelts. Sometimes they're doing flying laps. Sometimes they're doing slow laps. Sometimes they're testing. They could be testing loads of different things. So there's not a great deal of point in sitting and watching hours and hours of testing. It's good to just catch highlights on TikTok or Instagram the day after.
2 weeks after, in my case.
Yeah. To be honest with you, there's not a lot to say, and that's because the day 1, day 2, and day 3 standings are completely different. Like day 1, Max Verstappen 1.1 seconds in front. Everybody thought that's it. The season's over. He's already 1.1 seconds ahead. He clocked a 1:31.3. But then on day 2, Carlos Sainz banged in a 1:29.9, which is obviously nearly 2 seconds quicker.
Yeah.
Again, Max Verstappen on day 2 only finished. Where is he? Can't even find him. In fact, he didn't go out on day 2. Sorry, day 3 he only finished in 4th, behind Leclerc, Russell, and Zhou Guanyu. But then this is the thing. This is the conversation. Zhou Guanyu in Kick Sauber is not finishing 4th in the Bahrain Grand Prix in 2 weeks time. No. In a week's time.
Absolutely not.
There's an element of sandbagging. There's an element of testing slow speed corners, high speed corners, brake balances, fuel loads. It is absolutely no barometer on how the season will go. We did get a look at all of the cars in action though, and I'll be honest, the Red Bull does look quick. The aero looks unbelievable. They put the high fluorescent paint on the side of the cars to watch where the aero goes, and honestly, the fluorescent paint on the Red Bull, it's like somebody's drawn it on with a fine ballpoint pen. It's perfect, and they've actually redesigned their air intake. So there's actually a huge air intake, one on each side of Max Verstappen's shoulder, which hasn't been seen before, which is quite impressive. Red Bull as well.
Legal or not?
I would hope so. Otherwise, the FIA have got some. Red Bull have got some work to do before.
Well, no, they wouldn't. They wouldn't do it. They did it with Mercedes that year with the steering wheel. They.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it's so long to change it, sort of thing. Yeah.
But no, I think.
That's what I mean. Something you've not seen before, but it was deemed illegal. Would this fall under the same umbrella?
But to be honest with you, the technical regulations of Formula One go way above my head. I enjoy the racing. I don't enjoy reading through 270 pages of FIA regulations.
But you have done it before.
Yes. I keep one by the toilet.
Yes.
Interestingly, though, the most interesting thing is, and I love a bit of speculation, I love a bit of drama, and that is that Carlos Sainz Sr. was photographed with Helmut, having a sit-down meal with Helmut Marko and Adrian Newey and Christian Horner of Red Bull. And then the following day, Checo Perez, was also seen for over 25 minutes having a really, really deep chat, it seemed, with Toto Wolff. So silly season started 6 months early, but potentially the kind of moves. This is just speculation. This is just drama. This is me stirring the pot, so it might not be true. Hamilton to Ferrari, Checo to Merck, and then Sainz's seat would be at Red Bull, which would, in my opinion, be fucking awesome.
I to be honest, I think that is where I do see the Red Bull seat and Sainz ending up. That was my call from day dot when Hamilton was going there. It's where Checo goes.
Do you know what's mental though? Like, why is there so much pressure on Checo? Why is there so much controversy and speculation about Checo?
The guy that finished second in the championship, the standard that was asked of him.
Yeah. He finished second only behind the preferential primary driver.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
No, but next weekend, race weekend.
Next weekend, race weekend. Yeah, exactly. All this testing and like, will Kick Sauber do this, or Will Haas do this, or no, they won't do it either. It will be Max Verstappen first, Perez second, and then it'll be a scrap for third.
Yes. And from what I read, that Mercedes have held back a little bit, they reckon.
Really?
Yeah, they reckon they've got a little bit more in them, that they're just not, not giving. So who knows? So
We'll find out.
Exactly that. We'll know more next week. So, well, I hope you have a good week. I hope the race goes your way and McLaren perform and Max locks up on the first lap and is 20th and can't fight his way through.
Yep. Oscar, I'm going to predict it now. Oscar Piastri wins by 1 minute and 7 seconds.
It's good to see that you've been drinking.
Take care.
See you later. Thanks for joining us this week on the Sportscast podcast. As normal, you'll get us on our social media, Instagram and X, formerly Twitter, at SportscastPod UK. Join us again next week.